Hello and welcome once again to my channel, where we will be discussing regarding Spring Data JPA, and we have created an application here where we are providing a deep insight of the Spring Boot Data JPA with the help of an embedded Derby database. Let's first go through the dependencies that we have added on before building the application. Here you can see the implementation part. We have used Spring Boot Starter Data JPA along with Spring Boot Starter Web, Spring Boot Dev Tools, and for the runtime only we have utilized this Apache Derby. And for the test packages implementation, this is used. Okay, let's go through it once again. Just to let's run the application first. Meanwhile, let me just provide you the basic structure demonstration. Here, just like my previous video, there's a controller where here it's an employee controller and a basic DTO class. Here is the employee DTO, where we have a basic employee name, employee salary, and we have an ID. So here is the repository that we are using, where it's a basic interface where employee repository, and this is extending the CRUD repository, which is of type employee, and its ID is of type integer. Now for mapping the DTO class, we have utilized this. For the persistence API, we have utilized this entity annotation, and to map it correspondingly with the table, the primary key of the table, the employee ID is used. Now we can see as we have run the application, it has already started. Now here you would be getting errors for some reasons, because the table is not created, and since this is an embedded database, so you cannot access it even. Here where it's trying to drop the table employee, but it's throwing error since that's not present previously. And also the schemas, it's unable to connect it like that. It will throw some error, but no need to worry. And in the application.property file, I have provided the custom port to which our application would be hosted, and that's 6111. And you can see clearly that our Tomcat is hosted to 6111. Yes. Now let's come back quickly to the employee controller class. You can see that this is a REST controller, and the corresponding request mapping would be this tag employee. And here I have for the logging purpose, I have utilized a logger, as you can see, and here the atomic integer is used, where it would be providing an automatic increment of the IDs corresponding to the entries that we have providing in these particular applications via put functions or post functions. You can see the first method is an employee count. It will basically just throw you the count of the employee in the table. Here it's just basically an employee repository that's being utilized in the employee controller, and it's auto wired here. No utilization of data setters explicitly that we need to give. And here this is the post functionality, where we are just posting a new employee, where the request body the employee would be provided with the help of a JSON. And then finally comes the get functionality, the get mapping, the get APIs, and also here you will get the list of the entire employees that are present in the database currently, and followed by the searching by IDs, and here also the delete functionalities, the delete by ID, and then update. And we have also provided a provision for the exception handling with the help of @exception handler class. So let's go for a direct hands-on. So here with the help of Postman, we are going to post some of the datas, the post functionality, and see if our application is working perfectly or not. And now come back to the application part. Here we have what I have done is within that resources structure I've used this data URLs where you will be getting the demo data as well as the basic URLs that are required. So let's try to first find out what this particular URL would throw to us. Since it's a get functionality, let's select it, then followed by this URL. Let's see. Meanwhile, you can see that in this application console, see clearly it worked. And in the postman, you would be able to see that in the output the count is 0 since no particular entries of the employee is provided here. Now what we would be doing is we would be adding some of the data, like here this is one entry, or let me just remove these employee IDs since we won't be requiring them. They would be done automatically with the help of auto increment functionality of atomic integer. Let's now post it with the help of post functionalities. So this is the data. We would be selecting raw here, and the data type would be a JSON, and let's beautify it for beautification purpose, and then followed by the URL we are adding it, right? So we are adding it, and the functionality is post. Let's see what Postman provides us. And a beautiful 200 OK response, as you can see clearly. And this is the response that our application is throwing back to the Postman interface. As you can see here, new employee details added. Let's do one thing. Let's also add another couple of datas. Another success, and followed by the entry of some Mr. known as Oleg. Yeah, done. So you can see that employee ID here is 103, and it's all started with 101 because of this gentleman over here. Yes, atomic integer, and initiation value is 100. You can provide any of your required initiation value, like 1000 or anything. Okay, now coming on to the view section. If we want to view all the elements, we would be utilizing a get mapping. Let's see. Yes, clearly you can see here all the 3 entries are visible, and also here viewing all employees, since we have utilized the logger, the application will be logging in the application console, writing the logs. Fine. Next we want to view details of some Mr. Oleg. Let's see, and his employee ID is 103. Yes, beautifully you would be able to see the details of that gentleman over here. Great. Now we come back to if we want to update it. We would be using this put service. Okay, facing some issue here with the put service. Let's move on to the delete. Okay, if you want to delete a particular ID, here we are selecting the URL over here, and then with the help of delete, let's see. So details of employee with ID with this is deleted, as you can see over here, deleting details of employee ID this. So again we would be viewing with the details of all the employees. Let's go for this URL which is stored over here. So this is get and we are viewing it, as it's eminent that the details of 101 has been deleted over here, correct? So if we want to delete all the datas over here, so what will happen is, fine, we are deleting all the datas, all details are cleared, fine. Now we would go for a view. So you can see that the JSON object is completely blank. List of JSON objects, it's a blank one here, so nothing is returned. So let's see, our list is empty, we do not have any details about how our application behaves in case we want to view or delete some of them. Let's try to delete with employee ID 11. Check it out over here. Or let's delete it. See, 404, no record found to perform an action. If we haven't provided this one, there would be unknown exception that would be thrown and our application would be impacted in that case. But we have handled this particular thing with the help of exception handler, as you can see here clearly, where I have handled this empty result data access exception and also no such element exception. No such element exception is valid in this case. Say we're trying to view something, view by ID. With employee ID 103, but as we know that with employee ID 103 it won't be present, no entry would be present here. Let's see how our application behaves in this case. See, no record found to perform an action. So great, as you could see that with Spring Data JPA we have used this functionality in this application, and again I have pushed this all the details to my GitHub repository, and here is the URL of it. In the comment section or the description section I would be providing the details. Hope you liked it, enjoyed it this time as well, just like the previous. Keep learning and help others to learn as well. Thanks a lot.